Staring at the City. Go ahead,
So,
introduce
this is your
yourself.
boy Rift. Shout out to Staring at the City, Twin Cities. I'm in my city. Thank you so much, everybody that's been supporting, and I just want to give a special shout out to Staring at the City. Boom.
That's right. Yeah.
Obviously, you can scrub forward and cut. You know what I mean?
No, I got you.
Basically, for those who don't know who I am, obviously I'm an artist, I'm a father, I'm a musician, I'm a veteran. First and foremost, I'm a husband and a father before anything. And then I'm a businessman outside of the music. So for people, that's just me in a nutshell. For people who don't know, I've been dibbling and dabbling into the acting world and things of that nature. A little bit more depth on outside of the general consensus of who I am. I guess you could say my impact with the city or what I've done to try to use my voice or my tool for the city would be when I was here during the protest last year during the first 48 hours after George Floyd. I came out here and I just kind of felt the need to use it's kind of like this. Just put it this way: like you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't, right? So I saw what was happening, and I was curious to why there wasn't other people speaking up about it locally, and I felt that our city was vulnerable because we didn't have any Jay-Z's or any big figures to kind of stand up for us, and then we had Nick Cannon and Jamie Foxx and a few athletes come through and support our city, which was awesome. But as me being a local artist that represents this city, I just couldn't sit on the sidelines and just not say anything, because I felt like that would be me not using my voice, and that's people would bring criticism and, oh, you should be speaking up, saying something, you should do something about it. You know, people want to see other people in positions of influence
With the platform.
say something, use their platform to say what's going on, speak on what's going on. So then, you know, that's damned if you don't. If I didn't say nothing, I'm gonna get ridiculed. But then if I do say something, you get the support from it. You get your message out there, which is what really has been happening. The message has been getting out there. It's been building awareness, spreading awareness, allowing to give people confidence to speak out and speak up and stand on what they believe in. And it's been bringing people together just by them sharing and causing my content to go viral recently on Facebook. So, but the damned if you do part is just because I've used my voice to try to give back to the city and to make people aware and just use myself as a tool in this situation the best I can. And I was able to raise a little bit of money for some charitable organizations and things of that nature during the whole crazy time of last year, and even sometimes still to this day there's some tricklements that come through, some people who help out. But some people will say, you know, you're just trying to use it for clout or whatever, you know, that's the damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could say nothing and be ridiculed, you could say something and be ridiculed. So for me personally, I felt like that's where my impact and that's where a lot of respect came from a lot of people in the city recently, was just because I chose to stand up and use my voice. And I've noticed that kind of set a few other artists to get the confidence to speak out, and now they got their songs and they got their messages and their pain on what their experience was during them times, and even recently, because I wasn't here for the Dante Wright situation. So there's still other locals out here who are actually putting in work, right, and trying to use their voice, but they might not have a larger platform or something of that nature, and they're still working on it. That's okay, it doesn't matter. I just feel like as long as you feel like you're doing what is right in your heart, that's just what that really matters for. You know what I mean? So, but I guess that would be, in a nutshell, based on from the music of that's who Rift is, that's who I am. I'm just something that doesn't fit in, a break in something. I've always been disruptive, but putting disruption into everything. So I put disruption into that situation last year to speak my voice, speak my pain, speak my point of view, my perspective, my opinion, and to encourage others to use their freedom to speak, you know. So that's just me in a nutshell. You know, what was the other one you said?
I actually have a different question.
Okay.
Yeah, like where do you like find yourself spending your most time? Where do you prefer to spend time? Like what, you know, like where do you spend your time?
With my family, my wife and my kids. That's it. I'll travel with them. We'll go do things together. We'll spend time together. at the end of the day, if I didn't have to make money, if I didn't have to do music, if I didn't have to have multiple sources of income for myself, I would just stay with my family all day. I still do that from time to time. Like if I'm not in the studio or doing something outside the house or whatever, then I'm just with my family. I'm not really a sociable person. Like I can be at certain events and shit like that, but I'd rather just spend my time at home. I'm comfortable.
I hear you.
I'm relaxed. I'm around people who love me. I'm around my wife. I'm around my dogs and shit. I got all the emotional support I need. You know what I mean? It's a comfort zone for me, so I'd rather just spend my time there.
I hear you. Yeah. What was your initial motivation to, like go hard with music or entertainment in general?
There was a few different reasons, a few different examples in my life that kind of gave me that motivation. One obviously would be watching artists that I looked up to, like at the time before I went into boot camp in 2008. Lil Wayne was like one of my biggest idols. It's like the main reason probably why I got all my tattoos and shit. I didn't start getting tatted until the military. And I didn't get a chance to listen to his album until I got out of the boot camp. And then the lady at the airport gave me the CD and the CD player for just off GP.
You remember that? Yeah,
and I got to listen to the Carter 3 for the first time, Lollipop, and it was the first time I heard music in about 11 weeks, So I was like, sweet, this is a great treat. So that was motivating just to hear that. And then to hear his progress from not hearing music for so long and then listening to that and be like, damn, this is a smashing album. I can't wait. I would love to do music one day. And it was a thought at that one time. But then there was a rewind. There was a couple times in high school, I designed a 9-foot Fender Stratocaster guitar. And I painted it and collabed on a separate one with my uncle, and we sculpted it. And it was like we made like some cartoony octopus coming off the guitar or some shit. And both of those got placed in the top 10 at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, and they were displayed there for 10 days, and both sold for over $2,000. Most of the money went to 2 charities. MBNA sponsored one, and Time Warner Cable sponsored the other one. So one was a collab with my uncle, one was just me. I just worked on it dolo, and then with a couple other people that kind of helped me fill in and paint when I was like running short on time to turn it in. But I went to Cleveland School of the Arts.
There you go. That's what I was wondering.
And so I did painting and shit from 6th to 12th grade.
Oh, okay.
I was an artist, drawing and shit.
Yeah.
So that's when I knew that I was meant for something a little bigger, because I was like, how the fuck I just put something I put a couple weeks of time into, collaborated, and I just listened to music all the time and just paint, you know what I mean? And now seeing that in the Rock Hall next to musicians and shit, you know what I mean? And it's just in there for 10 days, and people were auctioning it off, and seeing all of that reaction off of something I put my time into, that I made out of my garage and from my basement and shit, So I'm like, I think I can pretty much do what I put my mind to. Obviously, it sounds cliche, but it's just that's what it was at that time for me.
That's what it still is.
So and it still is. So like just blips in time of small little incidents like that were just constant reassurances that I'm meant for a bigger path. And I think just my dad, he's been DJing for 30 plus years. So just always hearing him mixing in the basement on records and shit, and he would use my cries and shit in the high chair, and he would sample it on the keyboard. So he'd be like, and chop up beats and shit. And I'm growing up hearing him do all that shit, So it was just already in my head. I used to play with like action figures and shit, and Pokemon cars and shit. And I would make my own little theme music, beatboxing and shit. And I used to beatbox and table make beats in high school for people, and they would rap over them. And that's kind of how I already knew I was intrigued into music. So just blips in time, shit like that, I didn't really start rapping until like I moved here in 2011.
Oh.
Because my computer crashed. I was making beats for everybody in the military. I was sending them down to niggas in the ATL and Virginia and in New York. So
you moved here.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Cleveland. So
that's what I didn't ask.
So
okay,
I guess I should have just told him the backstory.
Good.
So originally from Cleveland, I was born in San Diego, moved to Cleveland, grew up in Cleveland, went to high school in Cleveland, graduated, went to the military, and then traveled around. And my parents moved to Phoenix after that. I got out to the military, bounced down to Phoenix, and shot up to Minnesota here in 2011. Started doing music, and then moved out of here in 2018. I didn't really start getting noticed for music here until 2016, which is when I started taking it kind of serious. So the first 5 years before that was me just trying to figure shit out,
As it goes?
Yeah, so to kind of fast forward back, to kind of keep our little mental timeline, I guess, all of that was just instance, like, okay, I can do this now. I've already done that. What else can I do? I just would like to see people's reactions. Just on me doing something and seeing result.
Yeah.
Was enough to keep me motivated to keep going. So it's like, oh, this is cool. Something I'm just doing that's coming natural to me, whether it's singing, rapping, whatever. And I would play with beat machines. I would play with software. I would record other people and mix other people before I even started doing music the first few years after moving here. You know, because my computer crashed. So I was like, all right, I can't make beats no more. Let me go ahead and just start rapping.
Who were you fucking with, like, when you first moved
When I
here?
first got here,
Yeah.
my first impression of Minneapolis music was Blackout Garrison. It was the first music video I seen. Blackout Garrison.
Why do I know what that is?
Because he was like Lyric Merid before Lyric Merid.
Oh!
You know what I mean? I don't know where Blackout Garrison, I don't know what happened to him. I think he moved and something happened with his family, so I think he kind of took his mind off the music.
Right.
But, and then, you know, obviously Lyric had his good run that he had.
Yeah, we brought Lyric in the conversation.
But you get what I'm saying?
That's so
I mean,
dope.
I fuck with Lyric. Shout out to Lyric. Wherever you at in life, my brother. I wish you all success.
Respect.
You know, but you know, it's shit like that. And then I met like Fly Henderson and Soda and Gutta and all these niggas back then that was kind of big into the scene. You know, and they kind of taught me, you know, certain mixing skills, writing skills, rapping skills, because I ain't know how to fucking rap, bro. I was just learning from niggas around me that I've been recording, you know?
Sure.
So, and then just, I progressed and outgrew certain people around me, and that caused problems in relationships with people, and just things get ugly as you grow, bro. You know? So you,
unfortunately, sometimes.
One thing, I guess I'll take it away off topic, but one thing I definitely do want people to know, or what I have noticed, is there's two things that are going on, especially for black culture in the music industry right now. One is the traumas that we live through. We don't understand. We get to a point in our life where if we don't learn how to communicate and express those and get past those, then we're making bad decisions with our life based off of emotional traumas that we haven't worked past, and that lands us in worse positions in our life. Second, damn, I hope I don't forget. You know, the edible's kicking my ass right now. But second is, what I've noticed is when you start blowing up, you don't realize it, for one. For two, as much love and clout or whatever people praise you for, you gotta remember that the same amount of hatred is gonna come with it.
Wow.
And I didn't realize that, so I used to get in a lot of beefs and quarrels and confrontations with people who were like, man, why is everyone picking with me, fucking with me, bullying me? You know, I was always the small kid, the smart guy in high school or whatever, because I was really small. So I always just had to like defend myself all the time because people would always try to fuck with me and shit, you know? So I think that trauma was something that I had to learn to get over later in life. So when I was blowing up and didn't know, and people were hating on me for it and fucking with me, it made me feel like I'm getting bullied or some shit. And now here I am turning up on niggas for no reason. Because I'm like, oh, well, you know, going hard and shit. And it's not even, I don't even need to be doing all that. I just have to realize and recognize that, oh, this is what comes with the growth. You just have to be aware of it. And once it clicked and I started becoming aware of it, then it stopped bothering me.
It's a great reminder.
So now it doesn't bother me anymore. And this praise doesn't bother me either way. So I'm kind of just neutral. Like the praise is like, okay, great. The hate's okay, great. But the praise it still feels good. That's euphoria. That's dopamine.
Aha.
That's a dopamine brainwash. You know, and honestly, you kind of have to just keep throwing yourself that brainwash. It's kind of similar to when people get addicted to social media and likes and reassurance, and it's a confidence booster. Who doesn't want that? You know.
Can you tell me about that track, We Made It?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I guess we was going off on a tangent, but We Made It. That's probably one of my best records. Well, it was one of my best records, but then the record I dropped yesterday, myself now, that's out on all platforms, is my best and favorite record right now. Because I feel like it's just me in a nutshell in about 2 minutes. It's easy listening. So Myself Now is actually my best record. But before that was We Made It. We Made It had a really good run. That was my first time trying an EDM and electronica record outside of hip hop. And that was probably the most well-received record I've ever put out independently, still to this day. And the next record below that would be Can You Hear Us Now? Because that started getting a life of its own recently on Facebook. off of Angelo's page, who produced that beat.
Bombay.
Yeah, shout out to Bombay. But you know, and we made it. Was actually shot here in Minneapolis. It was shot at the not the Sonics, but that one drive-in. I can't fucking remember the name of it, but it's like that little vintage looking one that was shut down.
Yeah, over way over there, way over. It's like randomly, like what is that?
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure when you watch the video, you're gonna see like we got the thing in there. You're gonna see the name of the restaurant or whatever it was. And then we shot at the skating rink up in Coon Rapids. It's a little skating rink up there, and I wanted to give it because the synths that it used sound like 80s Stranger Things synths. So that vision for that was we need like an 80s vibe. So that drive-in theater with the lights and lasers and the fireworks in the sky that we dubbed in there with special effects and shit. And then the scene at the skating rink with the fog and the lights, and then I dubbed the Stranger Things portal on the wall and shit in there, like, and then we had some little monsters and shit throughout the film. I had my kids playing around to kind of give it that aesthetic, like that scary movie but fun time aesthetic, you know, like that carnival. It's more carnival-ish when you put children in there. It makes it more
like Travis
youthful.
Scott vibe almost, you know, like yeah.
So, but that was really the vision for that. I didn't expect it to do what it did. I just think people received it well because there's certain messages you can't put on hip-hop genres, and it might be received 10 times better if you put it on a rock or an EDM or an alternative genre.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, if I'm gonna be soft-hearted, it might not come off correctly if I'm giving it to you on rap.
Fair enough.
Somebody might not receive that well. So I like to experiment and give people different messages on different types of music. So if I'm feeling frustrated or angry or I want to turn up on somebody, I might give you a trap record. If I'm just feeling saucy, I might give you a trap record. If I'm feeling melancholy and chill and just content, I might give you something alternative with just guitars and bass, you know, something of that nature. If I'm feeling good and just happy and want to be around my kids and just want to give people good uppity energy, then it's gonna be EDM, electronic, some type of sunshine vibe or something.
Versatile.
You know? So, and but that's pretty much it. That's really why we made it. It just was one of those feelings, like it was just a feeling at the time, like. And at that time, I thought I made it, but then every time you progress, you realize you just keep getting further.
Yeah, you were talking about like, you know, like I'm not worried about who's talking about this or that, and so that made me think of like, we made it, you know. That's how I tried to.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, people gonna be like, they gonna hate, you know.
Exactly.
It's just, it is what it is, man. I can't help the fact that I'm light skinned. I can't help the fact that I got tattoos. I can't help the fact that I might look like a soft nigga. I might sound like a soft nigga on records. That's cool. Go ahead. You know, just, it's fine. I'm not here to prove a point to anybody. I just want to make the music and see if I can generate some type of other sources of income outside of it and provide for my family. You know what I mean? And maybe inspire them to do something better later. Like my kid's been in, Mariana, she been in, bro, she probably about to be bigger than me, like this coming year. Just put it that way. She's already been in French Montana and Afrobeat Drove By video. She was in the Whitney Houston Pentatonics video, dancing. She was in Amber Mark's music video recently that's not out yet. She was in Travis Scott and Rosalia's music video recently.
That's crazy.
And then she was in, there's a few more I can't remember offhand, but the list goes on, you know. And then she's HBO. Her friend just got verified off the Netflix show that's about to drop, and then now they best friends, so now they trying out for the same shit. So it's just a matter of time until shit just keep escalating, you know. And just to see her putting in that much effort and work ethic, it's a powerhouse now.
It's possible.
Now we have a team, you know what I mean?
Right. Can you tell me about your PR team?
Yeah, my PR team consists of a few close people around me, and the top of that is my wife. She started this company from the ground up 3 years ago when we moved to LA, and as we continued to expand, we started outsourcing, hiring other people to kind of keep the wheels running underneath it, you know. But it's just all close people around me, close affiliates, close friends, people that I can trust, you know, people that aren't gonna take what they learn and steal, you know, business ideas and run off and carbon copy business ideas or song structures and things of that nature.
I feel like that shit is almost inevitable, but I hear you.
So you really have to match yourself up with a team of people that have good integrity and just people who really just want to win because their passion is what they want to provide for that team. it's gonna be hard if you have a team of everybody trying to be an artist, but nobody's trying to help each one of them artists because everybody's trying to focus on themselves. You're gonna be stagnant because nobody's, you know what I mean? So if you have a team of one artist, and then, yeah, there might be other artists under the same PR team, that's fine. We all have different mini teams within that, you know what I mean? So I have my own personal team, and obviously my wife, and then this artist, yeah, he's our client, but they have their own personal team, even though they're still under our company. You get what I'm saying? So that's how we can delegate and separate some of the workloads across the board for some, you know, and everything runs smoothly that way. So I really just want to see how, you know, just like a virus, bro. I'm just trying to spread. How much can we spread? How much can I get my wife big? How much can I get myself big? How much can I get my kids big? You know, somebody gonna win. Somebody gonna strike out. Somebody gonna hit a lotto. Somebody gonna hit a big bag.
You prefer, because I know you've been with a label, you prefer to do it on your own.
It's a little of both.
I got
for
you.
me personally.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it feels easier with a label, but it definitely does feel easier with a label because it takes some of the workload away from you. But at the same time, if you do go hard, the same as if you didn't have a label, and you were signed, then you would probably become a priority artist probably within the first 60 to 90 days. But if you slack and you kind of take your time with things and don't really take things too seriously, you're not turning in things on time, you're not showing up where you need to be on time, or going places where they've scheduled you to be, then your experience with a label is not going to be beneficial for you because you're not putting in the effort to, you know, they might have you show up 3 or 4 or 5 places a day, but they doing that for a reason. Everything, all these interviews, press runs, songs, recording all the time. It doesn't mean that every song dropping every day. It's just some songs you recording right now, they might be holding on to, and then later in the year, you got one dropping once a month for the next, you got 12 songs and one drops once a month you got songs for the year. You're going to look like you've been working, you might have recorded all of those in one weekend.
Facts.
And then now you can chill for the whole rest of the year, travel, do whatever the fuck you want, focus on other companies, and you got all your shit scheduled with certain budgets behind everything, and it's going up. You know what I mean? That's just, you just gotta organize and structure your life. That's it. You know what I mean? So, it's not to get too far off of the PR question, but just figuring out how to organize and structure your team around you and your life is the best way to do it independently. But to talk about label and independence, it's definitely good to do it independent because you learn at your own rate, and you will learn a lot faster doing it independently because you'll realize real fast what's working, what's not working, you know. And it gets frustrating because if you don't have the budgets like the labels, then you can't move as fast as the labels can. And you might have all the product and content ready to go, but if you just don't have the budgets in place, to realistically, just like Young Dolph was talking about, to really make a record go, you probably gonna have to spend $250,000 to $1 million to work that record over a period of time. You know what I mean? So, and with me, I've only spent $76,000 in the last, you know, 4 or 5 months on marketing. You know what I mean? And even that, even for me, that's still too much. You know what I mean? Because I'm working with a team that's higher than me, that's already got #1 records, and they've been living off the same singles for 23 years. And they're telling me, yo, don't put no more money in marketing, bro. It's all about organics. Marketing is just research. It's just figuring out why people mess with your music or why they mess with you in general. Music should only be 20% of who you are.
Tap in.
Music should only be 20% of who you are, and everything else that you do with your money outside of that should be 80% of who you are. It's okay to have a restaurant. Lil Durk got a trucking company. Lil Bibby, his artist was Kid Leroy and Juice WRLD. Rich the Kid just signed with Russian Records, my old label, but he didn't need to. But he's teaching people how to be independent, majorly.
Rich the Kid just signed with Russian.
You get what I'm saying?
I thought he was already gone. They must have given him a good
He's
deal.
already big. He did it on purpose, bro. He didn't need to. I'm sure he probably did. I don't even know what their situation was.
Sure.
I just know, I think he's trying to teach people something. I think whatever situation they got going on was probably some type of agreement, and I think they're helping each other out beneficially. And I think he's trying to teach people how to manage your money, and how to be majorly independent and still own your rights to your music and your masters, and pull a Soulja Boy and she make it clap, 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 #1 on Billboard and TikTok.
Tap in.
And you own all of the rights to that, and then you can sign your deals after that, and then cut your percentages as you see fit. I got people around me right now that's working records. The same team of people that's already got #1s. They working my shit right now. Bargaining, getting people on certain songs, and trying to get certain features placed for the album and the EP and things like that. And all of these certain things, all these machines, everything that increases your net worth and your value.
Right.
So that's why people start charging 100,000, 200,000 for shows and features and shit like that, because if you're putting in $100,000 worth of marketing every year independently, it's a lot of fucking money. That means you gotta be making at least 2 or 3 times that amount just to be putting that in there comfortably for you to even still run everything else you got going on in the background. You get what I'm saying?
With that being said, why do you find yourself spending time marketing in Minnesota, or is that like important to you really, or?
No, I don't think I've marketed here in I don't know, probably a year.
Okay.
I think the last time I tried to market here was a year ago because I was here during the protests.
Sure,
I wanted to get my message out.
Exactly, yeah.
Ever since then, I haven't. And then I'll leave them with this. I would tell you that if you take your mind off something, if there's something that you've been yearning for and you really want it and you manifest it in you, but you take your mind off of it for a second, it's gonna come. It's gonna come a lot faster. It's gonna fall into your lap. That blessing gonna come right away. But if you focus on it and you keep checking the clock, it's gonna take longer to get out of the classroom. You keep checking your manifestation, you keep checking that dream, it's gonna take longer to manifest. So sometimes the shit that you're really close to, you gotta learn to let go. And when you let that go, you give it to him. And when you take it, all of a sudden, you take your mind off it. Now you got it. You get what I'm saying? I've had to learn to literally stop being so close to everything. So I took my mind off the city. I didn't do it like, it wasn't like, fuck the city. It was just, it was more of like, I moved away. The same time I moved away from the city in 2018, I lost my mom. I lost the deal. I fell out with my group members at the time. It was hard for me to get over that. And I fell into a really bad hardship with Airbnbs and living out of hotels and not having refrigerators, and you're putting your food inside of a cooler inside of a hotel bathtub, and you're using the ice every 4 hours from the ice machine up the hallway, and you only got money until Friday. And then you gotta figure it out. But then somebody reposes a car out of the parking lot and you got 15 bags of clothes and toys because it's you and your 2 kids and your wife out there with no cars, repo, you ain't got no money. You gotta be out at the hotel by Friday, and your refrigerator is a cooler in a tub that you gotta keep taking out to wash your ass and put the shit back in there.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So when you go from that and everyone turning their back on you, you know what I mean? And when people tell you, don't switch up. When you blow up, don't get funny when you blow up. But what happened when I needed you at my most, at my lowest? What happened when you switched up and got funny on me when I needed to borrow some bread?
Facts.
Or I needed somebody to answer a phone call because I just needed to talk to somebody.
On the low, or on the high.
So you can't hate me now for me having more than one phone. You can't hate me for now for limiting my access to people, because I understand my value. I understand my cost. I understand my effort and my blood and my energy and sweat and tears I've been putting into this. You're not paying me for the 30 minutes I'm giving you something back. You're paying me for everything all the time it took me to learn all of that shit, bro. And this is just shit that you can see, read, regurgitate. You're a human sponge. You can still soak shit up. I'm just soaking shit up and connecting dots and figuring out how to maneuver around shit. But if you don't fail, try and fail, who gives a fuck, bro? Because eventually you're gonna fail so many times, it's gonna be one of those gonna be right. You only gotta be right one time. You only need one record, one time, bro. That's it. Everything else gonna fall into place. It's like, just give me one #1 record, I'm solid. I'm fading to black. I'm sitting my bitch ass down. I'm cool. I'll give it up to the next man.
Right.
I'm good. Now I can eat.
I hear you though.
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Just the whole point of this is so you don't run on autopilot and you get 47, 50 years old and you can't do the physical and mental activities you're doing today to try to build something for your empire or for yourself. You know what I mean? So doing all that shit now is taking its toll on our health. We smoking. We eat meat and shit and not eating too much fruits and vegetables. We might need more of that shit. We drinking too many alcoholic drinks because you're tired or you got to get through a day, so you shot some coffee or something. Too much caffeine now, and after time it takes its toll on you.
It definitely does.
So it's just like trying to balance as you get older, and then you're like, my body don't feel the same. I'm not as energetic. You gotta really start changing that shit. And then people don't realize that the shit is hard as fuck. So your blessings will always come in the forms that you don't expect.
You can say that again.
Blessings will always come in a form that you do not expect, and everybody's blessing is different from the other person. So what may work for me may not work for you, and vice versa. So the only thing we can do is continuing to motivate ourselves, to motivate others, to encourage other people. Cause I might need you next year. You might fuck around and have Drake in here or some shit next week. I don't fucking know. I don't know what's about to happen.
Right.
The internet's a weird place.
True.
You know.
Changes everything.
So, and just with, you know, if you help other people achieve their blessing and their dreams, it will come back as a blessing. You won't block yourself from it. That's why I don't mind helping people get to the next level where they need to be. You know what I mean? I don't really. It's fine. Okay. If you want to blow up and snuff me, and then run off like you don't know me, that's fine. Cool. It's okay. But just know what that come with. Because you came up off of me, right? So all I do is make one phone call. Oh yeah, I'm not cool with this nigga no more. You know what I mean? Where your career going now, bro? And that's on a small scale because your mind is this size. But if your mind is this size, you would realize that somebody like me helping you is a fraction of what the rest of the world has to offer you. You're better off keeping relationships alive and healthy around you at all times.
There you go.
I don't have no enemies, bro. I have none. Not no more. I try to resolve all my issues, keep it at peace, and if niggas don't want to resolve shit, I walk away. It's alright, fuck it, nigga, you got it. I'm not trying to fight. You got it. I'm not about to wait. If you gotta have me come out of my body and my energy, energy is exhausted. I'm already exhausted enough. I don't have the energy to just keep conflicting against the grain. So I've just finally learned to you just have to let everything go.
I was gonna ask you what's next, but I mean, you kind of just already, that's it, right?
You just have to learn to let everything go, and when you start living your life, bro, I noticed that I started traveling more, and people started paying attention to the music more just because I'm traveling, because I'm just doing shit. I'm just putting activity online. Has nothing to do with the fucking music. I could be there for a vacation or visiting a family member. But because people know me for that music shit, they always assume I'm up to something. That's great. I love that. Go ahead. That's cool. But I'm just trying to live and enjoy my life.
What does your face mask say?
Faith over fear.
There you go.
Yeah. Shout out to my wife's auntie who made this mask. You know? And it's just a constant reminder. Same thing with tattoos. It's a constant reminder. They're a chapter in your life. There's something in your life that tells you that those are milestones in your life. These are just certain milestones. And even this interview right here, this is another tick. It's another milestone. So wherever I'm at next year or 2 years from now, or wherever you're at 2 years from now, you look back on certain words for me, these are like swords. Whatever you say it's frequency is already out there. So I try to be very careful of what I say to people or what I say about myself. You know what I mean? Because it's a sword. You stab yourself in the back by accident, talking down on yourself because you're trying to be polite to somebody else. Or trying to dumb your energy down because you don't want people feeling uncomfortable because you're walking in the room, because you got star power or whatever the fuck you got going on with your shit, because you in the right energy, because you got a pure heart, and you in touch with God, and you're a family man, and you know you're not giving a fuck about nobody around you, so everybody can feel their energy when you walk in the room. And sometimes you're humble about it, so you try to bring yourself down to people's space around you. You have to learn this. You have to stop bringing your energy down with people. If they're not meant to come up to your energy, then just don't bring yourself down to their energy. I don't even really know how to explain it, but you will understand when you're in certain social environments, you know what I mean? I know. So It's just, you know.
I've seen it.
And you just take your experiences one at a time, bro. Anybody can win. Anybody can do this, bro. Anybody can do, you just have to just keep doing it. Like, especially when your back's against the wall, like, you'll figure out a way. You'll find a way. So just, you really have to, like, psychologically psych yourself out. And you have to kind of tell yourself your back's against the wall. Even though you might be living comfortable. And that's one issue I have now. Is I'm living comfortable. So I get lazy a lot. I procrastinate a lot. You know? Fuck, man, I'm tired. Damn, I'll send that fucking email tomorrow. Alright, damn, I got another beat pack. I gotta do 5 songs by Friday. Alright, fuck it, I'll do it tomorrow.
Keep going.
You know?
Even when it's snowing.
You say even when it's snowing? Yeah, like even when it's snowing, like we had that free Wi-Fi show that one year. It was a blizzard. Niggas still pulled up for us during the show. And that was amazing.
Facts, y'all.
I was like,
that,
damn,
yeah.
we gotta show our ass
It
off
seemed
now.
like a short
Niggas
era,
pulled
but-
up for us in the middle of a snowstorm.
It was lit.
That to me tells me that people are willing to put they own selves at risk in a snowstorm just to see us, just to be there, just to support, just to show them morale at that time. And I can't act like you're risking driving through all this shit to see something that's not even a priority. You know what I mean?
No,
To me,
Minnesota has a
that's
lot of
amazing. So
potential.
I try to make my music or whatever I do to give back to people a priority. I try to make something that make sure they get some value out of it. I love to make them little flim flam records, the bullshit records about nothing there. It's fun. It's like practice, exercise records is what I call them. I love them. But I want to be able to still give you value. Something that you can learn from something quick. It might just be one line. It might be 2 lines. It might be the whole song. I don't know. But I want you to walk away with something besides just listening to empty music. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you're on them stages.
I get that from you.
You're on the stages, you keep regurgitating empty lyrics, it's not fun, you know? So over time, you change it. You change it, you touch the people. And honestly, people will start relating to that more than anything because it's just you. It's just, you know? And that's really what it is, man. It is what it is, you know? I don't want to just keep rambling in circles.
No, I hear you. Can you just repeat that, the name of that newest track, and just tell me, like, did you say it was produced by Bombay? Yeah, just so I can have a segment at the end.
Myself Now, produced by Angelo Bombay, is out now on all platforms, and the video will be out soon. But yeah, you can find it anywhere. It's alternative vibe this time. You know, something peaceful, just something that you can ride to, listen to, and it's kind of like a self-reflection record. So the video is just me the whole time with black, you know, and that's it. Then I have a CGI version of the same thing that I'm debating on making an NFT or not, but I don't know if I want to do that. So, because it's like the fees are kind of expensive.
I don't know anything about those. I just know that.
Non-fungible tokens.
Right.
So basically, if I have this water bottle that is a Picasso painting, this is a piece of artwork, physical artwork, and it's on an auction and somebody buys it for $10,000 and you hold on to it for a certain period of time, and now it's worth $20,000 and you resell it. That's basically your art form. It's one of a kind. An NFT is the same damn thing, but just in digital form. So it's a piece of art that has a code embedded in it that cannot be duplicated. So it grows in value because it's embedded in the blockchain and people bid on it with Ethereum,
And you
which is crypto.
don't want to, or you do want to?
I was debating on it, but everyone's kind of getting into it right now, which is making the prices kind of elevate on it. And if I get into it, I got to do my own homework to figure out if I want to just release it myself or split the percentages on the Ethereum bids with somebody who has a larger platform to actually get it out and bid it.
Aha.
You know what I mean? So I have to figure that out on what I'm gonna decide to do. I might just be lazy and not fucking do it and then regret it later. But, you know, I don't know. I'm still figuring out if I want to even do that. But, you know, sometimes some things aren't really worth chasing right now. It's not something that I have to do right now, you know.
What is YMMI?
Yimmy. Yimmy Music. Shout out to Yimmy. Shout out to Yimmy Brand. He's actually a local designer here in the Twin Cities. So this is actually a local designer right here, local gear, you know. It's pretty clean, you know. He got a lot of shit, so shout out to Yimmy, man.
You know who Lost in Leon is?
Say what happened?
You know about Lost in Leon?
Yeah, I think that's like, ain't that his homie? I have never met neither one of them in person. I
Me
just seen
either.
him online, the shit
Me
was
too.
raw. I bought like a bunch of shit
Respect.
from Yimmy, and then
Okay.
I was like, I blew like 200 with him. Like, yo, just send me this, send me this, send
Just
me
on
that.
some online?
I just saw it and fucked with it. And I
You
was
never
like,
met him face to face?
Never met neither one of them face-to-face. So,
Respect.
You know, I fucked with it. I was like,
probably
alright,
fuck
let me
with-
just
yeah.
get it. This shit hard.
You got any other clothing brands that you fuck with out of the city?
One Land Hilton from out of Cleveland. Shout out to my guy Pegasus. He's a custom designer, currently living out of LA, but he's from Cleveland.
Mhm.
So One Land Hilton, I wear some of his gear, and then obviously Yimmy, and then whatever else I'll just buy online, and I'll probably just find some little saucy shit here and there.
Mhm.
And then 8 9 is another one I fuck with too. So they got some like them old school looking Jabos, but they like look clean and new and skinny jeaned, and so it's like coming back. You know, I'm about to wear these. I used to wear them Jabos all the time in school, like high school and that shit. I was like my era with the felines, the high top felines with the strap, and then the Jabos with the little thermal sweaters. We used to splash paint on it, make it look raw.
Huh.
We used to splash paint on our white forces to match the paint, the painted thermals, and then the paint would match the Jabos. It was like our little high school swag at the time.
I feel like this summer's gonna have a lot of fashion events, you know what I mean, fashion moments, so
Yeah, it might
I'm
for
curious.
sure. Like,
what people have to say about it.
because everything's starting to open up again.
Exactly.
And now, this past year has forced everybody to be entrepreneurial, low-key, on figuring out how to make money off the internet. You know, and once you figure that out, it's like you can kind of just do any other live or real event in person, because that's just a bonus now. Now you have bonus real life money.
That's so futuristic.
You know what I mean? But if you can figure out how to make internet money and apply that to real life event money, and you're making both, that's key. It doesn't matter if you're making a lot or a little or enough just to cover everything to get by, and just to make enough just to put it into that next month's expenses or marketing or whatever you gotta do. That's it. You just
it
gotta
going.
keep carrying it.
C'est la vie.
And some people will probably think like, damn, like, you know, I'm trying to save money and that and the third. Sometimes saving money is not even really the answer. Sometimes you might need to use every single dollar you have to put behind something because you need it to get somewhere. You need it to get in front of a certain person that you might be affiliated with and connected with. You don't know, there might be plenty of other reasons. There might be a team of people in the street that you gotta pay in person because you want them to work the record. You know what I mean? Somebody putting posters up, or somebody sitting there running the physical ads for you, setting up all that shit, scheduling your shit online to post, setting up meetings and whatever. You know, just people have different things. So I just try to be mindful of people's time, because people's time, you're putting that time in for me, and that's still valuable. So that still has to get paid out. You know what I mean? So it's just figuring out that with no budget, and then figuring out how to use other people's money if you don't have a budget is really hard. But once you figure it out, I mean, I just read books, bro. You read a little bit of books and shit. You figure shit out. And there's little Kindle shit, so you can just get right off the iPhone. You know, shit like that. And then, what else is there to do? Because if I'm playing the game, I'm not learning. I'm just on the game. So that's why I started seeing a lot of homies start streaming the games to try to monetize their gaming and shit. I'm like, damn, that's pretty smart. You know? Because it's like everything's getting so slim in this country. Everything's so volatile, everything's so vulnerable that everything that you do has to count towards something.
At every moment.
Every single thing that you do. So even if you're taking a trip to the beach just to have a good day, at least get some fucking content. At least get some content. Because at least you can try to monetize that content later somehow. And it could just be on a consistent basis of just posting consecutively for 5 days in a row to keep shit going. Just to keep your face seen and explore whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? But I always tell people, like, if you're gonna do something, work hard, play hard. But when you play hard, your workload might only be an hour of work, snapping photos, doing videos, and then now you're chilling for the rest of the night.
And it doesn't even feel like work.
You know what I mean? Or you might have an event, and that event is still work because that content's going up online to show people how successful the event was, so they'll be more inclined to come out to the next one to show love and support, because now they're getting exposure through these events that we are hosting.
Speaking of that, are you going to host anything in Minnesota?
Yeah, we are working on a few events right now, but that boils back down to me trying to figure out, all right, are we going to work remotely, or are we going to have a little small mini hub here that allocates the events
The
from
decision.
here? You know what I mean? Because all of our connections are mostly for people who are just in the LA area, because that's what we built out there for the last 3 years. But
Right.
the pandemic
It's not a bad
has
idea,
taught
right?
us to expand nationwide digitally.
Yes.
So now we just have to figure out
How?
to get the events out this way.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to be here part of that time.
I mean, if you need help, just let me know.
You know, so, yeah, definitely. We can definitely talk about that for sure. 'Cause we have some ideas, and I'm sure Vanessa can talk to you about a lot of those too.
Okay.
So, you know, but yeah, anything else you want me to talk to with your peoples? Anything else you can think
I
about?
think the perspective that you brought is key, because a lot of people get caught in that Minnesota mindset, too worried about what the next man is doing here.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you saying that. near the
Because I
beginning.
haven't been here for 3 years, bro. I've been seeing what's been going on, but I haven't been like inside to see what's really going on.
Right. It's
I've
different.
only been inside last year for like 2 or 3 days I was here.
Hmm.
And then I just been looking at it again another year away from here. So it's like just to come back and feel the energy and talk to people and recap and refresh and where are people's heads at?
Right.
How are they thinking? Are they morally, spiritually, emotionally healing? Are they still in pain? Are they still fucked up right now?
Right.
So I just wanted to come back and at least give my city some energy, some hope, and let them know like, hey, I'm coming back. Yes, I still have family here. Yes, I still have friends here. You know, I'm still attached to this place. My heart is still here. You know, I just had to go get it back. I couldn't get it here. I tried.
I know
All the way
the
to the
feeling.
top tier. I was on the radio, both radio stations,
Yeah.
numerous ones around the country, on billboards, everything, interviews, and it just wasn't enough reach, bro.
Listen,
It wasn't
listen,
enough reach.
listen.
It just wasn't enough reach. It's not. It doesn't mean that people don't fuck with your music. It's just here. It just wasn't enough reach. It wasn't enough money. And then when you got that IDS tower antenna from the radio stations that were shut down, that don't reach a lot of people due to weather because it hasn't been replaced in so long, you're missing the reach.
Kids don't even know like to think that way, you know. So those are the kind of gems that like, you know, yeah, yep. I'm gonna
Because
feature highlights
everybody
like that.
knew, everybody saw that. When we were at the top of whatever we were doing at that time, everybody saw that. But we realized how short the reach was at that point. We realized, damn, everybody saw this, but this is where our reach really is. It's here. We anticipated this, but it's really here.
That's frustrating.
It's still good. We're still appreciative for this reach. But damn it. You know what I mean?
I do.
And
Yeah.
nobody, you know,
I do.
you're not trying to make chump change off this shit, nigga.
You work
It's
your
not
whole
the
life,
goal.
you're passionate, you know? No, I hear you, man.
It's like, damn, I'm, you know, trying to wake up and I made 2 bands overnight by accident. I'm trying to wake up and it's automatic, bro. I mean, it's been feeling like that with the little Robinhood accounts, with the little shits I've been fucking around with in there. Like, it's been cool, but that's how I know I can do it. That's the first time I seen money grow on its own, bro. Just based off the shit that was happening in the world, because I just happened to get lucky and put my shit in at the right time with Doge.
It's the same.
You know?
Same thing can happen with music too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't never pass no opportunity, bro. No matter how big, small, medium. You know, because I'm sure a lot of niggas probably look at your shit and be like, man, this small little blog, man, I ain't about to do this shit.
I appreciate you fucking with
You
me
know what I
too, for
mean?
real. Yeah.
But who am I to judge?
I was honestly surprised when y'all mentioned me. I was like, word, like, respect.
Because who am I to judge you? And I still need exposure just as much
Yeah.
as you need exposure.
Yeah, yeah.
I still need to get my voice out there.
Mhm.
I still need to let people know that I'm still a relevant artist. I'm still from here, even though I'm from Cleveland.
Mm.
I blew up from here. So yes, I can claim both. I can claim Cleveland because now I'm blowing up in Cleveland by accident from the viral video on Facebook.
Mm.
So now I'm on 3 different Cleveland blogs,
Mm.
just off GP. And then I was in the studio with King Chip, got a couple records with him, and I guess those pictures got circulated. So now that's already been circulated. So now people from high school in Cleveland is hitting me up, fucking with me. That's great. I never thought that would happen. So I'm like, damn, everybody paying attention, MGK and all the crazy artists, Chippy Red, all these big artists back home. Like that might be a little bit harder market to get into. But right now I'm starting to realize that I judged Cleveland thinking that they weren't gonna fuck with my music and never really marketed myself there based off of the fact that Minneapolis took forever to accept me in the music because I wasn't getting the support I yearned so hard for because everybody was watching me grow from nothing. So then they weren't really buying into anything because to them it looked like I still wasn't making no progress and they're so used to my face, they're already used to it. So then it's hard to get outside of that organic reach because when it's like blowing up in front of your family members. Your family gonna be the last people to convert to say they proud for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they're so used to you being you. They don't know you as the podcaster. They don't know you as a superstar on stage. They don't know you as the actor who just made $1 million off 2 movies and shit.
There you
They don't
go.
know you as the one who got a #1 record. They don't know you, you know what I mean? They know you as, yo, we bathed you, we fed you, you grew up in our same house, we played with the same action figures and shit.
That's what they want.
That's just how they view you. That's okay. There's some family members, it'll take a while for them to say that. It'll take a while for them to tell you that they've actually acknowledged your efforts and you have to look at your local community the same way, especially if they're watching you grow. You're brewing, boiling frog. They're watching you brew. You're brewing, you're stirring up.
You said boiling frog.
You know what I mean?
A lot of people don't, but yes, I do.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm probably going too fast for some people, but...
No, you good.
know.
That's all good. I mean, it's all good. That's not the point.
Nah, facts. So, but that's it, man. Just, I was so eager. I was too eager back then. When you're too eager, it doesn't come to you. You just gotta let it go, man. Just let go. And so now I try not to be eager for anything, even though I might be really like giddy inside, like, you know what I mean? Like outside, I try to be patient. I try to give everything due process, due diligence, time. And that's what's coming up from people from above me. Give everything due process, due time, due diligence. Certain records don't blow up overnight. They take 2, 3, 4 years to blow up because you have to keep working them. It's the same way with a business. Your business is not going to blow up overnight. It might take you 2 or 3 years of clients to really build an office space and steady clientele and furniture to install and spreadsheets and brochures you can send out, things of that nature to get more people to keep building and accelerating. And then you're expanding your network with connections and people that you're meeting and greeting and shaking hands with and shit. So it's just think of your music as your business. It's the same thing. Going to high school, going to college. It's a 2 or 3, 4 year process. Everything's usually 2, 3, 4 year process. If you think of it that way, you'll stay consistent with yourself, you know, and don't focus. And Drake said this is what really stick with me. This is what really made me feel good about myself. He said he don't record all the time because he got to live life in order to record something. So I'm like, wow, I thought I was the only one that did it. I'm like, I feel so good because I used to feel so guilty looking at Wayne and Doug recording every day and I'm not doing that. And I'm like, fuck, why am I not recording every day?
Nah.
You know?
If you record every day, you run out of shit to talk about.
Exactly. And you also have to understand too, like he said, don't focus on the end goal. Because if you focus on the end goal, you're going to beat yourself up in the middle too much. And I was doing that for a long time.
On the end goal?
On the end goal.
On the end goal.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Don't focus on the end goal of anything. You can, but just keep it in the back of your head, because if you focus too much on it, you start getting too eager, then you start being like, damn, I could be going hard right here, right here, right here. Then you start not enjoying their journey to get there.
You just stay in the moment.
So he says, focus on doing the best you can each and every day, and judge yourself based off that. So that's why I still beat myself up sometimes, because I know there's certain days I can be going a little bit harder, you know. But some days I might need to rest. So it's okay to take them days of rest. It's okay to recharge. It's okay to not be doing something that day. And
Just be happy.
Yeah. You still a human. You still gotta live and enjoy your life. Why you working so hard for if you ain't enjoying your life? I was working really hard. I wasn't enjoying my life. I was going hard. It was miserable because I just was not living. I was just on autopilot. So I had to learn to start living to really enjoy my craft. Otherwise, it just starts feeling like a task, a job, a hassle. That's why I quit doing tattoos. Because I used to do tattoos here to get out of like jams with like rent and shit like that. You know, to keep from getting evicted, floating around, survival tactic.
Aha.
I tatted up damn near the whole north side. That's why everybody started knowing fucking with my music.
Oh,
giving
look at that,
mixtapes and hitting them with
full
tattoos, nigga. And like, all right, I'll give you $20 off this tattoo, nigga, but you better play the shit while I'm tattooing it. Then they'll start playing my shit, or I'll just put it on, don't even tell them it's me. And I just wait for the first person to say, who is this? And now I know I got you. Because you can't take that back. You was already curious. But once they find out it's you, people start to lose value.
Especially when they go,
because
oh,
you're
that's
sitting
you?
in front of them. Because you're sitting in front of them, so now they're like, oh yeah, it's just this nigga music. But if you don't tell them who it is and the music's good, the value's already there, because now they don't know they listening to you. And then they find out later. So half the time I would meet people, I wouldn't even tell them who I was, and I let them find out later. You know? Because there's people doing that to me, and I learned that every time you get to events, everybody's doing that. A lot of people, they won't tell you what they do. You'll find out later. It's just, if I meet you at a red carpet or a party or a cocktail party, we might talk. I might end up finding out what you do. But
I see what you mean.
But there might be other people at the party that you'll meet, but you won't get to that conversation because they got that limiter on themselves, or their energy might be too strong. You don't know how to match it. You know what I mean? Shit like that, because you're not ready. You're floating somewhere that you gotta get yourself out of. And if you're stuck in this mindset of these four walls, which is your local community, you know what I mean? You don't know what's happening in the rest of the building. And there's somebody on the second floor that can help you get out the building immediately, but you never knew that because you never left the room, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever. You have to learn to leave the room.
I need these reminders, man. I think everybody needs them, but I definitely need them, so thanks.
Oh, yeah, the gems? Yeah.
For real.
Shit, I think.
Because I'm gonna go through and edit this and just get them all again, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and you can clip them. You don't have to put them all in one. You can like snippet it out, like how Surgery does with her
You know,
shit.
there's like little sounds and stuff, so I
Yeah.
just.
Yeah, just like, you know. So, yeah, but yeah, I think that's enough.
For sure.
You might have enough to work with.
I think I definitely do. I got
You
one
got
more
one at
person
2.
coming
I know,
through.
I know she said you want at 2, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty tight.
But you know, I just try to keep it
Oh,
just
well, we over
natural.
2 o'clock.
Oh, you
They
good?
on their way or they later?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So
I
this-
got one at 3. I got another one. I gotta go do birds and bars. So I'm supposed to be eating some chicken wings and then rapping or some shit. Yo, what up? It's your boy Riff signing off with Staring at the City.